Yo, what's going on, everybody? Yo, it's your boy Jay Lat, and I'm back on the Chop Shop today. I'm chopping it up. Today, we're going to talk about new media versus old media. So I know Draymond had this quote. He was saying that we the new media and all that. And I don't think a lot of people understood what he was saying. Basically, what he was saying was there's a new way of covering sports because you don't need direction from other people, companies. You basically could use your platform. You got a mic, you got a computer, you got a YouTube account. You a part of the new media, but being a part of the new media is about, are you going to be reporting new and better information? So I'm gonna break that down just a little because I think sometimes we listen to people over a long period of time, and sometimes it becomes repetitive. When I listen to Undisputed, First Take bring more guests on. Undisputed is basically Skip and Shannon for the most part. They bring some guests on, but mainly it's them two, right? Um, Skip is biased. When it comes to Jordan, when it comes to Tom Brady, bias. His view on LeBron James, bias. Um, and one thing we gotta stop doing, and I had a conversation with a friend of mine. We gotta stop discrediting greatness, right? Um, so let's start to judge people on where they're at. So I'm what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give credit to any athlete or entertainer who made it, because it's so hard to just make it, right? Not everybody can do what they do. I know some people think that they can, but not everybody could do what they do. So we're gonna, number one, we're gonna give them their flowers right now, right? So whenever I talk about anybody from here on now, it's based on their resume and their particular field of the players that they're involved with or being compared to. So let's bring some light to the table, but also acknowledge their accomplishments, because I think sometimes we tear them down so much that we don't praise them for just making it, right? We had a little discussion in my group chat, and one of the guys posted some that I thought was unique, and it talked about Michael Jordan, and is he a success or failure with the Charlotte Hornets, Bobcats, Hornets, whatever. Um, you could look at it two ways. Some people say, well, he failed because the team didn't win a championship, or they didn't have a great playoff success rate or whatever. Yeah, well, let's be honest, they really haven't had the best players. So just because Michael Jordan was arguably the greatest player of all time doesn't mean that he's the greatest owner of all time. Sometimes you got to have the right people around you. You got to make the right picks. You got to have the right coaches. So a lot plays into it. So it's just not on one person. But could he have done better? Probably so. Um, but with the rosters that he has, should he have done better? I don't know about that. But what I will say is that let's look at it from a business standpoint of purchasing a team for 275 million. And now when you sell your stake in the team or a portion of your stake, you're gonna gain anywhere between $2 and $3 billion. Now, any investment anywhere, I don't know nobody who will say that's a failure. But see how we play with words, and or we may not like somebody, or we look at them in a different light, that we give a different perspective. No, man. Jordan, in my opinion, is a success because number one, he was only the second black owner in NBA history to own a team. Bob Johnson was the first. Then Jordan. So that right there is a success, because blacks have been shut out of so much, especially ownership. So how could you say that that man was a failure? See, it's just about what lens you putting on, or some type, or sometimes it's the energy that you bring, right? So I would say Jordan's a success. Number two, the other reason why I would say he's a success is because for a long time Jordan didn't speak on important issues, right? He only spoke on things that mattered to him, not the culture, not the environment, not the people who needed his voice, not people who were struggling, but he sided with those that were in position like him, which is wealthy. And well, there's less um people that are wealthy than there are people that are poor. I mean, let's be honest, right? So, but what he's done, man, over the years, last couple of years, man, I gain a lot of respect for Mike because it takes a a different type of person, a humble person to say, you know what, man, I haven't done it the way I should have. I could have did more. I wanted to do more, but maybe at the time I wasn't comfortable doing more, right? But now he spoke out about the George Floyd incident. He donated money. He's getting involved. He put money in NASCAR. So he's doing his part. So we got to stop. These athletes can't do it all. Jordan is doing his part. So big up to you, Mike. Much success. Um, whatever it is that you do, whatever all that you've done so far is enough. I mean, you changed the shoe game. You changed the way um athletes want to be looked at. You became the first business, really. So much respect. Now let's get to this new media versus old media. So we basically can do the same thing that these people do on television. You just got to use your platform in a way that's conducive to reaching um so many people who may want to hear just a new voice. Cause I know for me, I get tired of hearing the same old voices because it's the same old thing. If you turn on Undisputed, they're gonna talk about the Cowboys, they're gonna talk about the Lakers, they're gonna talk about Tom Brady. Like it's the same repetitive stuff. And then you spend I don't need to hear about the Cowboys for 20, 30 minutes when you got the Kansas City Chiefs who just won the championship. You got the Bengals, you got the Niners, you got the Eagles, you got the Bills. I mean, you got all of these teams, and I'm missing a lot of teams. I'm just giving you guys just a overview. Like, there's so many different players that you could talk about, right? But we talk about the same people all the time. So the new media, we're gonna talk about people who don't get the pub, who don't get the recognition, right? Um, we want to talk. I'm gonna give props to um Kansas State point guard, Noel. Like, not just because he's from New York, but because you know I'm from New York. Not because he is from Harlem, where I was born, but I always say I was born in Harlem. I was raised in Queens. Um, but I'm gonna give him his props because when I first saw him play, I was like, this kid is a problem. And anybody who know me know that I watch basketball from a different perspective. I watch how this kid control the game, not just the stats, but how he controlled the game at 5'8", how he dictate the pace of the game, timely shots, getting his team involved, listening to his coaches, being a leader, defeating the odds, right? 5'8", doing what he doing. I mean, 20 points, 19 assists, 5 steals, 1 game away from the Final Four. He already won. So with the new media, what Draymond was saying was basically we're gonna come with new ideas. Cause that old way of doing things is just what it is. It's old. That's why you got Old Testament, New Testament. Some people still like to live and talk about the Old Testament, right? But then they say that Jesus is their everything. But then he come to bring the New Testament. We're not dis we're not disregarding the old, but it's old for a reason. It's outdated. We're going with the new. The old is just a reminder of how it first started. It lay down the principles and the structure and the foundation and all that. And we need that because you can't start nothing without it. But then in life, as you progress, things get better, start advancing. So the new media is what we doing. So this is your boy Jay Lapp from the Chop Shop, man. I'm gonna keep it a little short today. I should have a show on soon with my co-host T Lat. and we're gonna bring y'all something special, man. This is just a teaser right here, but we're about to bring y'all something special. So stay out on the lookout for that new show that we got coming up, and we're gonna show y'all what the new media is about. Peace and God bless.